In woodworking, you start with a tree that's dead. It's fallen down, and it's good for nothing but to be burned, really. But then somebody comes along and cuts it up, works on it, takes away all of the ugly parts, and then slowly and sometimes painfully turns it into something beautiful.
We are Bill and Stacy Spencer. We're the executive directors and founders of Narrowgate Foundation here in Middle Tennessee. The beautiful thing about the offer that Narrowgate makes to these guys is that it's really simple. If for 8 months you could shut down all the expectations of life, you have no bills to pay, you have no stresses and social environment to worry about, everything's provided, everything's protected, and for 8 months, you get to ask 2 questions. Who am I? Really, who am I? And why am I here? If you could walk away with the answer to those 2 questions, would you take that opportunity?
One of the things that makes Narrowgate Lodge so transformational is that it's completely experiential, and it's not just an intellectual pursuit of God, it's a learning how to live in a lifestyle of discipleship. And so young men are transformed because it's 24/7, 365, and they're living with their teachers. It's not that they just get church on Sunday and the rest of the week they're on their own. Like, it's every day. And so in our leather shop, in our wood shop, and we also have a metal shop and automotive shop, where the young men get to take their spiritual lessons and apply them. So what does it look like to do all things for the glory of God? What does it look like to submit to one another as unto the Lord? All these biblical lessons that we teach, what does it look like to actually live that out? And then for young men who show an aptitude and an interest, we're able to offer them a temporary employment or a permanent employment situation at Narrowgate Artisans, which is our business in Franklin, Tennessee.
But at the end of the day, it's just one thing. It's just one thing. We help people discover who they are and why they're here. And the answer to all of that is always found in Christ.
I realized that this passion that he's put in me for craftsmanship and for fine woodworking specifically, he has been using and can use continually to show what he's able to do to us. My job is not to make furniture or to make guitars. It's to make disciples. Getting to take a part in God's work of healing them and bringing peace into their life, that'll change you.
When I see our guys, they're trees of righteousness. Now, they may only be a little sapling right now, right? Because they're 18, 19, 20 years old. But what are they going to look like when they're 40 and 50 and 60? And God gave me a picture that I'm going to be like a child running through these huge oaks of righteousness that have been planted, lots of trees that are producing fruit for the kingdom.
I think it's funny because a lot of people want to separate ministry and business, and there just is no separation. The Great Commission's pretty simple. In your going, as you go, make disciples. That's it. So it doesn't really matter if you're doing that in a market space, in an office, if you're doing it on a job site, if you're doing it in your family, if you're doing it as ministry on this. Look, none of that matters. Stay connected to God and connected to people, and let that be the guide that leads you into the ministry you're supposed to do right then. If we just did those 2, we'd change everything.